I know.
Hello, my name is Lee, and I'm 21. I'm Paul, and I'm 21. Yeah, what do they call it?
Oh, okay. Where do you go?
UCI.
UCI, and then you go to UCI too? Same grade?
Yeah.
Or, okay, great.
Senior?
Junior?
Yeah. International students. Yeah.
Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan.
What kind of cultures and groups do you identify with? Like, obviously you identify as like UCI students. Do you belong to any like other groups?
I don't know, maybe just UCI.
Oh, like yeah, okay. Yeah. What's your majors? Yeah.
I'm double major in economics and education.
Nice.
And computer science.
Is school here harder or easier?
Also, it's actually easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can like choose your schedule, so it can be like very relaxed, very tired.
Yeah, like depending on what you choose.
As international students, what do you find like different cultures posed to like America and China and America and Taiwan?
Well, so like for one thing, like for the SAT in America, like you can take it multiple times, right?
Yeah.
So you choose the higher score. China, you don't have much sure.
Oh, really?
Once you're so if you fail it, you might like go to a really suck college.
Oh.
Just wait another year and take the SAT.
Is it easy to go to college in America then, or do you have to have high test grades?
Well, for that, I'm not sure. I guess that's the same.
The communication questions. How do you like greet people casually versus how you greet people formally? And like, have you noticed that there's differences like in the way you greet people as opposed to like how other people greet people?
I took my parents as parents, so I'm basically totally respecting them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to like make them upset. And try to not get beaten up.
Have you noticed like some people like here in college greet their parents differently than like the way you do?
I think it depends on person because I have some like Asian friends who react with their parents like friends.
Yeah.
Too. So it's depends on person.
Do you have any problems communicating with people here in Orange County?
Of course, I mean, like, English is not our first language, so there's definitely some times that you know, like I don't understand what you say, but like there shouldn't be a problem. Like, just, I mean, to some way, like you can definitely explain, like
Yeah.
you know, either like through a dictionary or.
Have you ever had like a specific experience like you could draw back?
I had a friend, and I think her family is Mexican, so she has some like Mexican accent, and she talks really fast. Like, most of the time, I won't be able to understand what she's talking because it's just too fast.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Hi, I'm Grace Tsai and I'm 21 years old. I've lived in LA County for 2 years and Orange County for 3 years. Don't have family in Orange County, but I have a really distant relative in LA County. I'm involved on campus APSA and TASA, and their APSA is Asian Pacific Student Association and TASA is Chinese American Student Association. And I'm also a part of University Christian Fellowship on campus. And yeah, I'm an international student outreach leader in university. My cultural identities are, I identify with like Asian, and I also identify with American. So before I lived in Asia for 16 years, I lived in Taiwan for 8 years, and I moved to China, and I lived there for 8 years, and I moved to America 5 years ago. Yeah, so my Asian identity, back when I was still in China, it was mostly academically focused, so a lot of my identity comes from my grades and like recognition from parents and recognition from classmates and teachers. But after coming to America, it was more so understanding that like grades are not everything, your achievement and like the job that you land is not really my identity, and meeting people from like different cultural backgrounds, different family upbringings, and understanding like where everyone comes, like they come from different places, and meeting them communicating like who I am, understanding who they are. I think that helps me understand more of who I am, and I think like searching deeper within myself and understanding like, yeah, what is the purpose in life and what do I believe, and yeah, my faith journey and all of that is a new identity like right now that I think I identify with. Okay, so when I first moved here, sarcasm was something really hard for me to understand. There in China, like sarcasm wasn't a big thing that people would include in their normal conversation. So when I first came, it's like understanding, okay, people will have super serious face while joking, and they would say, no, I'm joking. Okay, so greeting people in China and Asia casually is not really shaking your hands. You just nod at each other and acknowledge each other. You would say your name. You would say like how you get to the how to get to that place. So like either this person is this person's friend, or like the relationship between people. So you would state that. And I feel like, yeah, greeting people casually here in America is like actually shaking hands, looking into their eye, and usually smile. And then greeting people formally in China looks like, it depends on like their status, like what profession they are. If they're just friends, you still don't shake hands. If they're teachers or business people or lawyers or doctors, you would actually shake their hand and you look them into the eye, and if they have a business card, you would have to hold it with both hands and receive it. I think the different Asian culture groups in Orange County will be Chinese and Vietnamese are like the two biggest ones. And when I think of Vietnamese, I think of Garden Grove City, and when I think of Chinese, I think of Irvine. And I think about like food restaurants for different, like say Japanese or Chinese restaurants or Thai restaurants, or yeah. So I don't really know how people interact with each other. I think people mostly just come together as like Asian American. Okay, so I lived in LA County and Orange County. I don't think there's a big difference, but I do think that in LA County there's more Asian groups living in LA County. But yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a lot of difference on treatment. So I think the Asian food here is definitely Americanized. It's more saucy and more salty and more focused on meat. And back home it's more vegetables and soup, and yeah, there's definitely rice and noodles, like that's the same, but people eat less, like the portion's less too back home.
I'm born young and I'm 22 years old. I'm living in Denver City and already 5 years. I don't have family here. Cultural group that I identify with Chinese, Asian, and international students. Like before, I don't think about my identity a lot. Like last semester, I take a class named different value in America. I noticed that I have many different identities, like international student, Asian, Chinese, and maybe a sister, a daughter. Yeah, I think each identity makes me special. Community error that I found is we usually call teacher just by teacher. We don't call their by name. Usually greet people by wave my hand, like smile and just say hi. But usually I work on campus, I usually see people hug each other. I realize the people from here usually use iMessage and Instagram or Facebook to contact each other. But in China, we usually only use WeChat to contact people. In our campus, I see many Asians like Korea, Japanese, Chinese, and right now I'm taking Japanese class, and I can get some Japanese friends, and we can share many things to each other, and we treat each other like in same way. I think it's definitely different compared to each part of America, because here we see many Asians, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and we got Asian communities, and down to the urban, we can see many like Asian supermarket, a Korean restaurant, very good Chinese restaurant. I don't think food from here is Americanized, because usually I eat Chinese food every day, and the food from here is similar with China's food.
贾老师好，希望他们有很好的成绩。
继续加油努力！